Hello my dear students, here Preeti ma'am welcomes you all, and today's topic is Kohlberg stages of moral development. But before we start the topic, I would like to say, which I never said in any of my previous video, that do share these videos, subscribe the channel, press the bell icon. It's only because so that other students can also be benefited by these videos. So here we can start the topic. Lawrence Kohlberg, he is a psychologist and he belongs to the University of Harvard. He is known for putting forward a theory of the development of moral judgment in the individual, and that is right from the years of early childhood. He has based his theory of moral judgment on the findings of his studies. These are conducted on hundreds of children from different cultures. He differs from the popular view that children, they imbibe the sense and methods of moral judgment from their parents and elders by the way of learning. According to him, as soon as we talk with children about morality, the moral values, we find that they have many ways of making judgments which are not internalized from the outside and which do not come in any way direct and obvious way from parents, teachers and even peers. After going further, he clarified that internal or cognitive processes like thinking, reasoning, they also play a major role in moral development of the children. According to this, they make moral judgments depend on their level of intellectual development as well as their upbringing, their learning experience. So here Kohlberg defined moral development as the development of an individual's sense of justice. He then identified 3 levels of moral development, and each level that consists of 2 stages. Each level is associated with increasingly complex stages of moral development. So here we start with the first level, that is the pre-moral level. It is also known as the pre-conventional level. Pre-moral level is related to 4 to 10 years children. Now here the child, he begins to make judgments about what is right or wrong, what is good or bad. The standards by which he measures the morality here are those of others. He is thinking what is good or what is bad by the eyes of others. He is persuaded to take such judgment either to avoid punishment or to earn rewards. Means he knows that he will get the punishment if he do this thing, or he will get the reward if he do that. So here we can say that throughout the pre-conventional level or the pre-moral level, a child's sense of morality is externally controlled. Children, they accept and they believe the rule of authority figures, and these authority figures are parents and teachers. So a child with pre-conventional morality has not adopted or internalized society's convention regarding what is wrong or what is right, but instead he focuses on external consequences that certain actions may bring, whether the punishment or the reward. So the development of morality at this level, it usually follows the following 2 stages. As we know now that the 2 stages can be, one is the punishment or the reward. Stage 1, the stage of obedience for avoiding punishment, or we can say obedience and punishment orientation stage. So in the beginning, the child morality is controlled by the fear of punishment. He tries to obey his parents and elders purely to avoid the punishment only. Now the stage 2. This is the stage of conforming to obtain rewards and favors. In return, they will get the rewards or favors. So in the second stage of the pre-moral level, the children's moral judgment is based on self-interest and consideration of what others can do for them in return. So here they value a thing because it has some practical utility for them, right? So there is some practical utility. They obey the orders of the parents and elders, and they are abide by some rules and regulation because it serves their interest. some interest is there, that's why they are following those rules. So we can say stage 2, it expresses what's in it for me. So according to Kohlberg, concern for other is not based on loyalty or intrinsic respect, but rather you scratch my back and I will scratch yours. That is the mentality here. An example would be when a child is asked by his parents to do some task in which he is not interested. The child asks, what's in it for me? What will be the reward? And the parents, they offer the child an incentive, some reward, by giving him an allowance. The next level is the conventional morality level. This is in between 10 to 13 years children. At this stage, children's moral judgment is controlled by the likes and dislikes of others, as in the pre-moral stage. The convention, the rules, the regulations, or the law, and all the other social system orders, these are maintained within the society. So in this way, the conventional level of morality may be regarded as the level where the child identifies with authority. Moreover, we can say that throughout the conventional level, a child's sense of morality that is tied to personal and societal relationships. Here the children, they continue to accept the rules of authority figures, but this is now due to their belief. What the belief is that this is necessary to ensure positive relationships and societal order. So here they are adhere to rules and convention, which is somewhat rigid during these stages, and a rule's appropriateness or fairness that is seldom questioned by the children. Now this stage is categorized by the following two stages. Stage 3, that is good boy, nice girl orientation. So in stage 3, children want the approval of others and act in ways to avoid disapproval. The emphasis is placed on good behavior and people being nice to others. In stage 3, the stage of maintaining mutual relation and approval of others. So we can say in the early years of the second level of moral development, the child's moral judgment that is based on the desire, and the desire is to obtain approval of others and avoid being disliked by others, and they want them to be declared as a good boy or a good girl, and for this purpose they begin to judge the intentions, the likes or the dislikes of others, and then they act accordingly. Then comes the stage 4, that is the stage of obedience for avoiding censure by higher authority or social systems. So in the stage 4, we can say in the later years of the conventional morality level, the children's moral judgments, these are governed by conventions as well as the laws, the rules and the modes of the social system. The standards of others, these are now so established that it becomes a rule, rigidness to follow them. They have to follow those rules. The children now follow the rules and regulation of society, and they take decisions about things being right or wrong, and the view to avoiding censure by the elders, authorities or the social system. So in stage 4, the child, he blindly accepts the rules and convention because of their importance in maintaining a functioning society. The society should go smoothly, that's why he is obeying the rules. So here rules are seen as being the same for everyone because they are valuable and important, and these are supposed to be maintained. Kohlberg said that most active members of society, they remain at stage 4, where morality is still predominantly, that is, dictated by an outside force, not the inner force, because they are obeying the rules of the society. They move according to the society. The next level is post-conventional level, also known as self-accepted moral principles level, age 13 or during late adulthood. So this stage, this marks the highest level of attainment of true morality, as the controlling force for making moral judgments now rests with the individual himself. Means intrinsically, not by the society, not by the extrinsic force. So in post-conventional level, an individual does not value a thing or conform to an idea merely because of consideration of the views of others or by the conventions, the rules or the laws and order system of society, but because it fits into the framework of his self-accepted moral principles. So here we can say that throughout the post-conventional level, a person's sense of morality that is defined in terms of more abstract principles and values. Now the people, they believe that some laws are unjust and they should be changed or they should be eliminated. So this level is marked by a growing realization that individuals, these are separate entities, these are separate identity, they have a separate identity from society, and that individuals may disobey the rules inconsistent with their own principles. Means they are not behaving in the same way into similar situations. They are behaving according to their understanding, according to their cognitive system, according to their thinking. This level is also characterized by two separate stages. Stage 5, the stage of conforming to the democratically accepted law and more of community welfare. So at this stage, the individual's moral judgment, these are internalized in such a form that he responds positively to authority only if he agrees with the principle upon which the demands of authority are based. Here the individual, he begins to think in rational terms, evaluating the rights of human beings and the welfare of society. So here we can take an example. At this stage, in deference, that is in respect to the rights of the human being, the decision about euthanasia or mercy killing, that is the act or practice of painlessly putting to death to a person who has an incurable or painful disease. So, if a person wants mercy killing, the concerned laws, they may be amended for the welfare of society at large. So, as a total, we can say that stage 5, that is the stage of social contract orientation, the world is viewed as holding different opinions, rights and values. So such perspective should be mutually respected as unique to each person or community. Here the laws, these are regarded as social contracts rather than rigid. Those that do not promote the general welfare, they should be changed when necessary to meet the greatest good for the greatest number of people, as shown in the example. So this is achieved through majority decisions and inevitable compromise. Moreover, democratic government is theoretically based on stage 5 reasoning. Now stage 6, that is the stage of conforming to the universal ethical principles and the call of one's conscience. It is also known as the stage of universal ethical principle orientation. So at this stage, the controlling forces for making moral judgments, these are highly internalized. The decision of the individual, these are now based upon his conscience and the belief in universal principles of respect, justice and equality. He does what he, as an individual, thinks right regardless of legal restrictions on the opinion of others. So thus, at this stage, people act according to the inner voice of their conscience and they lead a life that they can without self-condemnation or feeling of guilt or shame. So as a whole, we can say that in stage 6, moral reasoning is based on abstract reasoning using universal ethical principles, and generally the chosen principles are abstract rather than concrete. They focus on ideas such as equality, dignity or respect. Furthermore, the laws, they are valid only so far as they are grounded in justice, and a commitment to justice, this carries with an obligation to disobey unjust laws. People, they choose the ethical principles they want to follow, and if they violate those principles, they feel guilty. So although Kohlberg, he insisted that stage 6 exists, he found it difficult to identify individuals who consistently they operated at that level. From the above discussion of the stages of moral development, we find that it is clear that although children they begin to think about morality in terms of justice or right and wrong at very early age, yet they have to wait until adolescence or adulthood for getting the stage of true morality. Also, it is not essential that all people pass through the third level of moral development. Most adults these are not able to cross the second level and few can reach stage 5. And among these, there are very few who, being intellectually quite sound, they can think rationally and they can base their moral judgment purely on the dictates of their conscience at the risk of life and the property.